How are we getting on, people? Luke here from LAGFX. We're back today with a new Sunday Sessions video. If you're new to this series, it is basically where we go over to the markets, we choose a few pairs that we feel hold good potential for the coming week, and we give you our analysis and zones and areas that you can go ahead and apply to your own charts and then hopefully profit with the LAGFX team in the coming weeks. If you have any questions or queries regarding the analysis I go through today, please leave them in the comments below. And if you learn something or you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. All the support you guys provide is very much appreciated. Now, there's a few pairs that I'm going to go over today. I am going to touch base on 4 or 5, 6 pairs that I think hold good potential for the coming week, as I say. And I'm going to give you some zones and areas. And with that, I would suspect that you would go and apply them to your own charts, allow price to play out as I predict, and if you are delivered with the right confluence and confirmation in order to enter, then get yourself involved. Now, the first market I'm going to be touching base on is the NZD CAD. As you can see, price has, as of recently, traded us up and into a supply zone. We have then been delivered with bearish structure to the downside, breaking protected lows within this bullish corrective wave. So if we go down to the 30-minute and the 15-minute time frames, you will see here that I've highlighted the last protected low within this bullish structure. This here is the last protected low as it went on to create the highest high that price has created within this bullish structure. We have since seen price break that structure to the downside, suggesting that this bullishness has finished and a new bearish impulsive wave trading us lower is ready to take place. Now, in order for me to get involved in this market in the coming week, what I want to see is for price to put in a corrective wave trading us back up and into this area here in order for us to get a nice refined entry to trade price lower. Now, we were delivered with obviously confluence and confirmation that price was going to trade us in a bearish way. As soon as we had that break of structure, I was aware that price was trading in a bearish way, but I wanted to wait and be patient so then we could obviously get involved in this market with those refined entries. Now, you'll see here, if we just move this to the left, we do actually have an unmitigated last buy to sell region. This would be considered an order block, so I do want to see price trade up and into this and then reject to this downside. As soon as we have a penetration of this zone, that is when I will be looking to get involved in this market. Yes, we could have got involved here. This is where I caught the break of structure and we would have been in profit by now. But in order for me to get a refined entry and in order for me to get all the confluence I need, I wanted to see price trade back up and into this fractal supply zone that I've got marked out. So those are my thoughts for NZD CAD. I am looking to go bearish in this market. I just need to see price trade back up and into this in order to give us that refined entry. Now, heading over to the Great British Pound to the US dollar. Again, this was a market that was once trading us in a bullish way. I predicted this bullishness to trade all the way up and into this supply zone. We then had the penetration of the supply zone around the 14th. We were then delivered with a break of structure to the downside, which told us that this bullish correction has finished. And we then had confirmation that a new bearish leg trading us lower was ready to take place. That's exactly what we've been delivered with. And now looking at this market on the 4-hour time frames, you can see that this was the last protected low within this bullish structure of the 4-hour time frames. We've now had a break of structure of that as well. So that confirms a longer and higher time frame reversal to the downside. Now again, in order for me to get involved in this market in short positions, as that is the overall prevailing trend, I do want to see price put in a correction, trading us into one of 3 supply zones that I've got marked out here. By price trading up and into these, we are essentially able to get involved in very, very refined trades and in that case, profit exponentially from the positions that we do place. So obviously, with my bias being to go short, I am expecting to see price trade down and actually surpass this low here. So you can imagine if we just set our take profit somewhere around this low, you can see that our risk reward ratio is very, very good. I am expecting a corrective wave to be put in to set its first higher time frame lower high. And what you'll also notice as well is we have a clear head and shoulders pattern. So we have the shoulder followed by the head, followed by a shoulder, and then obviously price to trade us lower. This is a clear head and shoulders pattern. So you can look at this in so many different ways, but ultimately we've been delivered with break of structure to the downside, simply looking for price to put in that correction to provide us with that lower high, and then we can get involved with that refined entry. So in terms of positions in the coming week, how can we look to get involved? Well, with us wanting to see price trade us up in a bullish way to put in that corrective wave, what we can look for is a bullish or a break of structure to the upside to confirm this new bullish corrective wave. So I would argue that actually price has provided us with a break of structure to the upside. This high here created this low. This was the lowest low that price created within this bearishness, and therefore we have had a break of structure to the upside. So I would argue now that price is actually ready to put in that corrective wave to trade us higher up and into this market. So in terms of positions this week, we could actually look to go long before we obviously go short from one of the 3 supply zones that I've got marked out up here. So what I'll do is I'll hold the markets like this. If you want to pause the video and highlight these areas out for yourself, you'll find them on the 1 hour timeframes, the order blocks that I've got highlighted. Mark them out for yourself as potential areas to take profit from in any buy positions, and also areas to look to go short from. Now again, we have been delivered with confluence that price is ready or looking to put in that bullish structure. We are seeing any bearishness slow down. Supply is starting to run out, demand is starting to be introduced, and accumulation looks to be in the works and in the midst of being created. As soon as we have further confirmation of bullishness, I'll be jumping on board on those buy positions. Okay, now heading over to the Euro NZD. Again, this is another bearish market. We have had the penetration of a higher time frame supply zone. We were delivered with a break of structure to the downside. That is confirmation of bearishness moving forward. We've then taken full advantage of multiple impulsive waves trading us lower. This was the first one that we took advantage of. This was the second one that we took advantage of. And now I am actually looking to take advantage on the next third impulsive wave that follows, and this is the point of interest I've got in mind. So I do want to see price trade up and into this supply zone here before delivering us with that next impulsive wave to the downside. My stop loss would obviously be placed just above the supply zone that I've highlighted, and then my take profit would probably be set just above this low here. That guarantees that our take profit can be achieved. You can see here that it's a common pattern. I always set my take profits just below the previous swing lows here. It's just above this previous swing low because it guarantees that it can be achieved, and the same with this one. I placed it just above this swing low and our take profit was achieved. So we are wanting to see the exact same thing follow, price to trade up, put in that correction, trade us into the supply zone, deliver us with a fractal break of structure to the downside, we get involved and we profit. That is my thoughts for the Euro NZD. So if you haven't done, pause the video now, mark this out as an area of supply and an area to get involved in those short positions. Okay, quickly moving over to the gold market. You can see here that I've had this area highlighted and marked out for some time. I am still waiting for price to trade us up and into this, and I am suspecting that price is within the midst of putting in this corrective wave to trade us into this higher time frame supply zone. So this market as a whole is definitely bullish. Yes, we have been delivered with signs of bearishness, but we are seeing that price is holding around this range. So I do want to see a continuation in bullish structure. If I'm being completely honest with you, I will be holding off from placing any positions. I do want to be delivered with further confirmation that price is trading us up in this way. And I'll probably wait for price to trade us up into this supply zone before I look to go short. I'm not going to really place any long positions, so I am going to leave this market for the time being and just wait for further confirmation on the direction that price wants to put in. We can mark this out as a demand zone. You can see that price comes to clear that, and we are seeing price clear these areas in demand continuously, but we're also seeing price respect the supply zones that price is putting in as well. We would say this was a supply zone, price has come to trade into that, and now it looks as though price could trade us lower. So I just want to wait for further confirmation and probably a wait for price to trade up and into this higher time frame supply zone. So again, you could mark this out as an area of supply, somewhere that we could look to go short from in the future. but ultimately I will be waiting for further confirmation in order to get involved in any positions in this market. Now, looking at the NAS 100, if you haven't done, go and have a look at the case study video that I've done on this market. Price played out beautifully to this supply zone that I marked out here, delivered us with some lovely bearish structure. This would have been a brilliant position that we could have placed on the back end of last week. So if you haven't watched the case study video, go ahead and watch it. It is now live on YouTube. There should be some kind of pop-up on screen now to go and click and watch that video. Definitely go and watch that. I won't be performing any analysis on this market in this video, so make sure you go and watch that case study. Now, just to finish off, we are looking at the euro to the Australian dollar. You can see here that price has delivered us with a break of structure to the downside, very similar to a lot of the other markets we are looking at. We have been delivered with that break of structure to the downside. That tells us that the bullishness within this market has run out and price could now be looking to go short. We therefore want to look at the impulsive wave, being this one, for any areas that have been left unmitigated. I have found an area right here. I've highlighted that out as a potential area for price to come in and set its first lower high, and that's where we'll be looking to get involved in short positions in this market. So again, pause the video, highlight this out as a potential area to go short, and get yourself involved when you are delivered with the right confluence in order to execute those positions. Now, what is my bias for this market longer term? Well, I do actually want to see price put in a higher time frame impulsive wave trading us right the way down. So my overall bias is actually the same as my shorter term bias, which is to go short. I'm simply waiting for price to trade up and into this supply zone here. It's very important to stay patient and to wait for all pieces of confluence, all pieces of confirmation before executing any positions. By doing this, you are just increasing the probability of being successful in the markets. And as we know, the trend is your friend, and it is very important to always trade with the prevailing trend. The prevailing trend for this market has confirmed itself to us that it is a bearish one, so I'm simply waiting for that next impulsive wave to trade us lower. So that is my analysis for this Sunday sessions video. I have been very quick with the analysis today. I've wanted to cover quite a few markets for you all, give you some zones and areas that you can work with and apply to your own charts. As I said to you before, if you've learned anything from this, if you've highlighted some zones, and if you profit in this coming week based on the analysis I've provided, don't forget to leave this video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or queries regarding the analysis I've gone through today, as I mentioned before, please leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Now, in terms of the services we offer at LAGFX and the group chat that we have on Telegram, if you aren't involved in that, get yourself involved. There is heaps of educational content that we post on there on a day-to-day basis. And if you aren't involved in the VIP chat, then you're definitely missing out. And I would do some research and have a look at that as well. Now, with all that being said, I'm wishing you all a profitable week. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.